what competencies and skills are actually really important to Santander when you're hiring? Do people need to have the degree background for the roles that they're entering into, or do you look for an ability level, a competency level when you're hiring?
Yeah, I think the subjects at degree level are becoming not as important now. They're almost like complementary. I think what's more important now is that broader skill set that someone brings. So the curiosity, the ability to work in a team, the ability to work in a collaborative way, being kind of flexible in your approach, being able to sort of respond quickly to things, being digital fluent. So it comes out with just as a given now, you should be pretty comfortable at using things like Teams and the basic kind of Microsoft applications should be just a given. And so those things are almost like an expectation, is almost like a minimum now that we look for. And you know, at the end of the day, we want people who will flex with us and probably develop with us. So yes, we'll have some specific skills we might need in certain specific roles. But even within that, within those very technical roles, we're still looking for people who've got those broader skills, those broader mindsets. So that growth mindset that probably references a lot, that's really, really important. So we're moving more to, yes, there is a need for technical skill set, but that technical skill set becomes redundant pretty quickly anyway, because the technology changes so rapidly. So even if you look at someone going through the route of becoming an expert in, say, particular coding, the coding language is going to change again probably in another 3 or 5 years' time. So the ability to constantly learn and evolve, that is more important than the actual core technical skill set. Because someone somewhere will have that. So we'll always look for that bit in addition to your technical knowledge that you've got from your degree. It's bringing the skills that you've acquired by doing your degree is more important.
Yeah, so Santander has quite a good in-house training then to get everybody up to scratch with latest technologies and things like that as things change.
Yeah, we have, and that in itself is a challenge as well. We're constantly involved, and that's as part of the team within L&D. You know, we have a fantastic platform now that's all online, but we complement that with other things, some more formal training as well. So yeah, it's trying to get the right balance. You know, that's one of the challenges I think with L&D in particular, is how do you get the right balance around the way you develop. We're seeing now more and more people want to do things, they want more choice, they want to be able to do it at the time that's right for them, on a device that's right for them. So going and doing kind of classroom structured training is becoming less and less and less of a requirement. And look at us now, we can't do classroom structured training in the same way. So it's that kind of flipped model now of how do you learn the knowledge in different ways. And that can be like, you know, reading a book or listening to a podcast or watching a video, and then how you let that into how you learn and adapt that into the workplace. And therefore things like coaching and communities and mentoring become really, really important now. So that we're very much pushing those agendas. They're far more powerful now than the more formal kind of traditional learning that we do.
Yeah. So in terms of that whole ethos then, in terms of training up your employees and looking for those flexible skills, do you think that reflects the values of Santander, or do you think those are values held by the wider banking sector?
I'd say, I think actually banking sector and probably many other sectors now, you know, I'm lucky enough that one thing I really enjoy with part of what I do, I'm lucky enough to connect with people who do similar roles in other organisations. So, you know, part of the kind of membership groups and community groups where we get together and we'll talk with, like, you know, last week we're on a session and Google was on there, and EY and Royal Mail. And because we're all in a similar place, we're obviously we all try to find the right ways to get the best talent in for us. Yeah. But the similar places, similar challenges. So I think it doesn't matter where you go right now, most companies will be in a similar space. Santander's always had a strong culture of making sure we support our communities, our people, as well as our customers. So we've not been like shareholder customer driven. We've always had that full 360 view of an organisation. So the communities that we support and the people we support is really key. Mm-hmm. I think the interesting thing right now, the real hot topic is probably well-being. I think that's become forefront of everybody's mind, whereas I think it was coming in anyway. I think the well-being piece was coming in anyway, but it's definitely really accelerated. It's kind of people being at the heart of everything and people's well-being being at the heart of everything. that's fantastic. Even to, I mean, something, just as an aside, you know, we had our quarterly results meeting on, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and all of our executive committee team, they present that to the whole bank, and they did it virtually, so it's all like this. So everyone's sat in their own houses, presenting our, like, how's the bank performing right now? How's the bank supporting customers right now during this kind of unprecedented time? And something that I didn't know we were doing as a bank that I thought was fantastic was that, you know, we were actively contacting customers over a certain age just to make sure they're all right. And how I thought how nice that was, because one, the employees got a lot out of that. I thought, actually, we're doing something here that's really helping out our customers. And the customers appreciate it as well. We have to get the balance right, because quite often we tell customers, don't take a phone call from someone you don't know. So you have to get the messaging right. But that just goes to show we do things to do the right thing by our customer and by our employees. So it's, I think that's an interesting shift. And I think a lot of companies will be seeing that shift as well, as well-being, which I think is really important to the graduate population. I think our generations now think more about the planet now than ever before. We think about our well-being, we think about being an employer that's supporting communities. You know, Santander definitely endorses all those things, 100%.
Yeah, it's the balance of having a successful career, and whether that's driven by happiness and fulfillment in your role, or having a better salary at the end of your career. It's a balance now, isn't it?